Welcome back to Clooney Garage. It's been a while since we've posted a video. Got an exciting update today. One that you probably guessed from the thumbnail. Fred Jr. has got himself a new car. Heaps of updates to share with you, including Fred Jr.'s car. One of the most exciting announcements is that we've been accepted into the Penrite Brand Ambassador Program. So we're going to start getting all our Penrite gear, show you guys what we're using on our cars, and that's also going to help with the livery for our ute. And the other big update that we're going to share with you too is tomorrow we're going racing. So Fred Jr. and Frankie hitting Wakefield Park. Can't wait. Toyota E6s. We're going to be pushing it to the limit tomorrow. So big episode coming up tomorrow night when we come back from racing. All right, so here it is. It's a 2020 Honda Civic VTI S hatchback. So we'll take you for a full review, show you all the options we got fitted as well, and we'll take you from the outside, have a look at the inside, and then we'll do some driving and show you how it handles. All right, so the first option we got fitted was called the Black Pack. So that ends up getting a black fascia on the surround, you get the black lip, you get black side skirts, rear spoilers, which we'll show you in a second, color-coded mirrors, but more importantly, you go up from a 16-inch wheel up to a 17-inch wheel, and they look a little bit like the VF Redline spoke pattern, but more importantly, it allows you to get some decent rubber. So we went with some Michelin Pilot Sports, and that obviously will help us from a performance perspective, but also be super safe for Fred Jr. All right, looking at the side of the car, got this safety device here. So it's like a passenger side lane departure sort of blind spot camera that comes up on the center console on the camera. The Black Pack also gets these side skirts here, you can see. Makes it a bit sportier, but the real add-ons for the Black Pack on the back. All right, the back of the car looks a little bit like a Type R inspired. So you get that wing here, you get the top roof wing, and you get all the blackout on the rear spoiler as well. So I reckon that Black Pack's definitely worth getting. It definitely turns the car, from looking quite, sedate and mundane to something that looks a little bit racier, and that's what Fred Jr. wanted. So you've got to get tinted windows when you get a white car, and these are the maximum legal tint that you can get, but they look really good, particularly when it's set off with the Black Pack as well. This is the standard interior with the VTI S. So you get cloth trim, nice bucket seats. We've gone with the extra edition of the Type R mats, and the interior is very nice. The Ayrton Senna inspired steering wheel there, and we'll turn it all on. You can see this center console slides back and forth. 8-speed auto, infotainment system, and a little bit Type R inspired dash paneling. But we'll show you the back. Yeah, so the hatch is up. You've got plenty of boot space here in the back, and those seats, both of them, go all the way down and flat. Plenty of room in the rear seats too, and good speakers. And Fred Jr. has opted for the Type R matte package as well in the back here. And quite a lot of room for the back of a hatchback. The infotainment package, and if anything, we'll do a little bit on likes and dislikes, but if anything, the responsiveness on the apps is a little bit laggy, but it certainly makes up for it when you look at the electronics and capability of the dash. You've got a center tacho, you've got indicator based dials, and it's pretty specky. Under the hood, we've got a 1.8 litre motor. They're pretty high tech, these little Honda motors, and they rev pretty well too. This is the non-turbocharged version, and perfect for Fred Jr. Get used to a nice little revvy motor and not get himself into any trouble. And our final option is we got Fred Jr. a set of his own sports pedals. All right, let's take it for a drive. We'll do some interior footage first, and then we'll show you some stuff on the outside of the car. We'll go on our sports mode, and then let's see what this little Honda's got. Okay, let's see how this little Honda goes. Not a bad little revvy little motor. It's nowhere less, but that's all right. One thing I'm really impressed about this car is its handling, and it's very responsive on the steering. And new shocks and springs always make a car feel a lot more pointier too, and but the steering in this chassis is very tight. Let's check out the cornering and braking on this little Honda. Those Michelin's hold on pretty well. Video is not without likes and dislikes. So Fred Jr., this is your first car, not bad for a first car. What are your likes?
Well, I think the first thing that I like about it is if you bring it over here to this front dash display, it's all digital and it's got the cross between, you know, the analog for all the revs and then just the digital number for the speedo. But it's nice and big and it's very simple, but it just tells you what you need to be told.
Very good. What else do you like?
Oh, I really like the black pack. Yeah, you get the black mirror covers and all the rest of it. And it just really makes the car, well, just look far less stock than it really is.
And you picked a hatchback and not a sedan. What do you think of the space in these things?
Oh, for a very compact car, it's got a lot of room. You can fit a dog, you can fit a annoying younger sibling, you can fit the mother in the back there even.
Oh geez.
Fit everyone.
What about dislikes?
Well, the first thing I don't like is the touch screen right here. It's a little bit clunky and laggy, and it's just not the best quality of touch screens that it could be.
Right. Well, mainly you do all your apps off your phone anyway, so that's not such a bad thing.
Yes.
And you mentioned something about this console.
Oh, some of the console is just a little bit scratchy plastic and just feels a little bit cheap, but you know, it is just the first car and it's not the most luxury car in the world, so it'll do.
Righto. I think a lot of people would be very pleased with this with their first car, Fred Jr.
Oh, I think so too.
Righto. Let's go check out your 16-inch wheels because you're going to hock them off on Gumtree, aren't you?
That's right.
So these are the 16-inch wheels that come with the VTIS, and they've still got, you know, brand new rubber on them. They come out with a Dunlop tyre with a Michelin. So we'll be selling those. But that's the normal alloy wheel you get standard with the VTIS.
So if you wanna buy these fresh wheels and tyres that never touched the road, they're completely new, we will leave our email down in the description below. Send us an email and we'll do some negotiating.
So that concludes our review of the 2020 Civic. It's a nice little car. It's pretty zippy, a little bit underpowered, but it's not quite the Type R spec, no turbo on that car, but it's perfect for Fred Jr. And you know, it's in terms of handling and responsiveness and braking, it's a good little package. So I'll have to get some slick tyres and take that out onto the track. Well, I'm going to polish my helmet up, get my shoes sorted, get myself ready, because I'm hitting the track tomorrow. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to be Toyota 86s racing around Wakefield.